So welcome all of you to the class of economics. Today we are going to start with the second chapter of Indian economic development, that is Indian economy from the era of from the era of 1947 to 1990. It means we just need to see the development experience of our Indian economic system from the period of 1947 to 1990. So, just after the independence of India, what was the scenario of Indian economy was here? We can study from the viewpoint of economic planning. First of all, second, we can turn from the viewpoint of agriculture sector. What was the scenario of industrial sector and their improvement and challenges? And what was the aspect of foreign sector during this course of time? So, starting with the first topic that we are going to have is economic planning. So, this chapter has been divided into these four spheres. First of all, we are going to have economic planning. So, when we discuss about economic planning, before that, when India was independent, or we can say when India was before independent or under the rule of British, it was under the misery and there was no corner, there was no starting point from where we can start the beginning for the rise of Indian economy. So when Britishers left India, they left India to be a complete stagnant and backward economy that was basically behind by all the sectors, by all the segments, and with the mindset of all the people that were very low, orthodox and conservative. So if we talk about economic planning, we can say economic planning is basically a term that signifies the forecasting of certain economic issues that are leading to the optimum utilization of resources in the best interest of economy as a whole. It means what we need to see when we talk about the economic planning, it means it was very certain that after we have received the independence from British and the Britain people, the first and foremost thing that we need was economic planning. So, economic planning was basically concerned with the forecasting of economic issues for the optimal utilization resources that were in the best interest of the economy as a whole, or we can say that was for the upliftment, maintenance and regulation of all the concerned sectors of an economy. It means we just need to take care of every best possible sectors of an economy that were considerably behind or backward. We just need to maintain our Indian economy into a prosperous one that was totally backward. So, what the first and foremost thing we needed was economic planning. So, economic planning was basically used to facilitate three types of questions. That is, why it was to be prepared, how it was to be prepared, and when it has to be implemented. Why, how, and when. So if we talk about why economic planning has been framed, we have got the answer: for the interest of the economy. It means to make economy with growth and development, and to make it more prosperous one. Fine. So we got the answer. The first question: why economic planning was needed? In order to make economy with fullest growth and development and prosperous one. Now, second one, if we need to answer how, we can say by the development and establishment of 5-year plans. So we can say plan. Plan are basically a document that contains a series of steps to be followed in order to implement a particular activity. So if we need to develop this economic planning, we were requiring several plans so that we can formulate them periodically. For this, as I said, we need to develop 5-year plans. So when we need to develop, as and when, all in the duration of 5 years or in the duration of 1 year even. So there were several plans that were of 1 year also, that were several plans that were of 5 years also. Fine. Now, if we talk about when, it means just after the framework of as soon as possible, after the framework of economic planning is completed. It means we just need to implement as early as possible because we cannot see our economy dying. We just need to lift them as early as possible. So that's why the economic planning was so essential in order to make Indian economy a prosperous one with the fullest growth and achievements and development that we need to see to make the economy from underdeveloped situation to the developing one and then to the developed one. Then how we can facilitate by making suitable plans that need to be carried out periodically, for which we need to go for 5-year plan. And then, well, periodically in the terms of 5 years and in the term of 1 year even. As and when the framework of the economic planning has been completed, we can just start facilitating and implementing the 5-year plan. Now, what was the major concern? If we talk about the 5-year plan, we need to consider the important issues that are going to be same in every 5-year plan, and that was the major issue which we named as the goals of 5-year plan. They were the ultimate objective that were to be implemented in almost every 5-year plan, or we called them as GEMS. Why we call them as GEMS? Because they are basically G for GDP growth, E for equity, M for modernization, and S for self-sufficiency. It means now it was a major concern for India to undertake all these goals as a prime objective of goals. GDP growth means we just need to increase the level of goods and services by not only working out for the agricultural sector but also need to raise the industrial sector also and tertiary sector also. It means all the three sectors must make progress in a very right movement, in a high pace of performance, in a rising mode. This was the objective that has been implemented in almost every 5-year plan. For this, we have undertaken several issues, several regulations, several licensing systems. We have developed permit quotas, right? Everything what we have developed in the best interest of the industrial sector and tertiary sector. Then, we are going to study later on. Equity means we just need to facilitate equitable distribution distribution of income and wealth so that maximum amount of people should get the equal amount of income, so that we must be able to reduce the disparity of inequitable distribution of income and wealth. We just need to reduce the level of poverty, we just need to reduce the level of unemployment by maintaining balanced regional growth as well. We need to develop the rural areas together with the upliftment of urban areas. So we just need to have equity level also. Then modernization. We just need to develop a sound base of infrastructure so that the road, bridges, dam, railways, airport must be in a very suitable mode so that they may be able to carry out the mode of transportation system of passengers or people as well as with goods and services too. So the modernization itself basically consists with developing the mindset of the people as well as accepting the new technology or latest technical know-how in order to advance in life. So for the advancement of life, as I told you, we need to develop a routine mindset to the people, to the advanced mindset. So what we can say, see students, in India, we have been suffering from an orthodox mindset from the decades. It means we have a gender bias. We are not treating the girl and boy into the same parity level. We are just putting the boy much ahead than the girl, and that is where we made the biggest mistake of our life. It means when we are worshipping the girls in the form of goddess, females in the form of goddess, but whenever a girl child is in our house, we are not treating them well or suitable. Child, from the way of child marriage to the household work, we always consider the girl or female to be a very, very low profile person. And indeed, this is, I told you, this is where we made a mistake, and that's a situation where we need to develop more. So it is a very regular way of thinking that we need to be modernized in our thinking also, in our way of performance also, in basically way of treating the people whom we are treating just like that they are not of our concern or of value or on our level. So if we are treating poor with difference, if we are treating females with difference, if we are treating any other religion person with difference, it means we are not modernized, we are still conservative, orthodox and behind several decades. So it's a time for us after independence that we need to be modernized. So it was again basically a goal of every 5-year plan that had been established by the economic plan. So self-sufficiency. Fourth goal was self-sufficiency. It means India was to be made a dire, we can say it was a dire situation, or it was the utmost urgency for India to become self-sufficient, because every time we need to just ask from the foreign nation or we need to import our almost every other thing, right from food products to consumer goods to capital goods. So whenever we are demanding also goods from abroad, why can't we purchase from within India? That's what the major concern, since when India is a purely agro-based economy, even then we used to import several food products from US or from other nations. And there was a situation when we were on the, basically we can say, we were on the war with Pakistan in 1965. The US just stopped the supply of food into us and just demanded that we just need to stop the war, and as and when if we do not stop the war, they will stop the supply of the food that was most needed in India at that time. So it's a very simple example that tells us that we need to be self-sufficient and we need to produce as much as in India so that we should not depend upon other country or nations for our food supply or other consumer goods. Fine. So these are basically the 4 goals that we have taken, and this has been established under the goals of 5-year plan by economic planning. This economic planning is basically, students, a comprehensive planning rather than directive planning. If we talk about comprehensive planning, it means whatever the social economy was all about. When we talk about socialistic economy or centrally planned economy or mixed economy, such economy where the government has a major role to play, we can say the comprehensive planning will be followed. Comprehensive planning basically concerned with the welfare of the people, and then when they see that if we are framing such goals and welfare of the people, we can just need to adopt comprehensive planning. So the economic planning has been undertaken by the formulation of planning commission, and planning commission under the chairmanship of late Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, that was the Prime Minister of India at that time, and later on it was proceeded by, it means we can say the economic planning and with planning commission, the planning commission proceeded by the Professor P.C. Mehla Novice. Mehla Novice, a little bit technical term. With his team, basically not only the only person P.C. Mehla Novice was there, basically some more other persons were also there who were a great contributor towards the economics. For example, Dadabhai Naoroji, Professor B.S.P.R. Rao. So these are the people that have made enormous contribution towards the economic planning, and with the help of these people, Professor P.C. Mehla Novice with the second 5-year plan proceeded with the economic planning and made a very great contribution towards framing the goals and short-term objectives to be implemented in each 5-year plan. So we have made two distinctions of plans. One we have segregated as goals and one we have made as short-term objectives. Goals were applicable in all 5-year plans, whereas objectives were specific to the specific plans. Fine. So, if we talk about the economic planning as we have discussed with you, fine, this is what we were requiring for the development of our such sectors and other sectors, so that we can contribute more towards the development and growth and prosperity of an economy of India. Fine. So student, this is what the topic of economic planning is all about. Here, the very first thing that Indian economy has been proceeded with was Indian economy. So, in the next session we are going to start with the sector. Till then, thank you so much students. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy.